What's going on? Welcome back to the Code Focus channel. Today we're going to be building a React and Redux Toolkit boilerplate for your future projects. This usually takes me like 10 to 20 minutes to set up and everything, so having a boilerplate is perfect. You can go ahead and clone or fork this and start off your project with Redux set up in your React project. So go ahead and create a directory and run npx create React app period. So that's going to create a React boilerplate within your directory. Now we're going to install the dependencies we need. So go ahead and run npm install, or React icons, React router DOM, styled components, React Redux, and Redux Toolkit. Redux JS Toolkit. Also install React Helmet. Alright, go ahead and delete the source folder and we'll recreate it. And within here, we're going to create an index.js along with an app.js. And in the index.js, we're going to mount the DOM. So import React DOM and React. And set up the React DOM render with app. Alright, now go into app.js and use the snippet. I have React snippet set up, so I could just type RAFCE and a functional component appears. So go ahead and get that going and import app within the index.js. Now we're going to start the project here. Alright, everything seems to be working. So now we're going to get the folders going. Make a components folder, a styles folder, a pages folder, assets for images, and an app folder for the Redux Toolkit stuff. Alright, so we're going to start off here with styles. Go ahead and create a global style, variables, and theme. Within global styles, we're going to import create global style from styled components, and here we'll export global styles. Target everything with the asterisks, along with targeting after and before, and throw on a box sizing of border box and a margin of 0. This is basically what you're going to do every time you create a project. We're just getting everything ready for the styling. And here, as you can see, we're targeting theme. We're going to set theme up later. And along with font family, go with Roboto. It's my favorite. We'll also import that from Google Fonts using React Helmet, which is why we installed React Helmet. Alright, so in variables, we're going to set up this object, which is called v, and we're going to put all our variables that we're going to use throughout the project in here. I like setting up spacing small through extra large. a border radius, and you can set these up however you'd like. This is just what I'm going to do. And a card box shadow. So what I'm doing here is using layered box shadows. Next up, we're going to create an S object where we'll put our screen sizes, and we're going to use this for breakpoints. So above each size, I'm commenting the size in pixels and in EM. Alright, so now we're going to create a B object, which stands for breakpoints. And we're going to go ahead and use min width. And as you can see, we're using the S object to target those sizes. And so in any of our styled component files, we can use this B object and easily have breakpoints within our project. Alright, so now I'm going to copy and paste the theme. Go ahead and pause the video to copy all that, and you can use any colors you want. Alright, so now we're going to set up the Redux Toolkit store. So import configure store from Redux Toolkit. And here we're creating the store with a reducer option within, and we're going to export this as a default. Now we're going to encapsulate our app within a provider, and this provider will have a store set to the store we just created. So that's going to make it so we can use the store throughout our app. Now in the app folder, make a slices folder. And here we'll make a UI slice, which will be used for all our UI stuff. So import create slice from Toolkit and initialize a UI slice. And within here, we're going to give it a name, an initial state, and reducers. Now we're going to export a variable called UI actions, which is equal to UI slice.actions. This will make it so we can use the reducers throughout our app. Then we'll also export default UI slice. Now in order to use this UI slice, we'll have to go into the store and put it within our reducer object. So we set the key to UI, or whatever name you like, and we set the value equal to UI slice dot reducer. Now we can use it anywhere within our app. Now within our app, we're going to go ahead and grab that theme state by using useSelector and target state.ui, and we're actually destructuring theme from the state UI, or UI state. Here I'm just console logging it so you can see it's working. Boom. Great. And now this variable here, current theme, is just going to detect whether the theme is light or dark, and we'll import the themes from the theme folder within our styles folder, or theme file within our styles folder. So set up a theme provider and set the theme to current theme. Boom. So here we're importing global styles within the theme provider. And there you go. There is the dark theme. And we'll set it to light to see if it's working. Boom. So now we have dark and light theme in our app. Here we're going to set up the helmet. And you can give it a title. We're going to name this React Redux Boiler. But when you create your own project out of this, you can call that however you'd like. And if you're not familiar with helmet, you can go ahead and put helmet within any of your within any of your components and give it a title or anything else you'd like. So go ahead to Google Fonts and grab Roboto. And paste the links in here. And in order to make these links work, you have to convert them into proper JSX format, like so. Here we're creating a fragment so we can encapsulate our switch statement along with our routes. So within the switch, you can have any amount of routes. Here we're just doing the home route. It's a default route. And there you go. We're going to put a home component within there. We have yet to make that though. So before we can use that switch statement for the routing, we have to import browser router within our index.js file. And I'm gonna import it as router. Then you're just gonna wrap app with router. And now our app has full routing capabilities. As you can see here, it's working. All right, now we're going to get into our components, our layout component and our home page component. Again, use a snippet to create a React functional component. And within styles, we're going to import styled from styled components. And we're going to import our variables from our variables file. Now to use styled components, you're just going to go ahead and do export const and name it however you'd like. And then you're going to do styled dot whatever HTML element you want to use. So for this instance, we're going to be using a main element. We're going to give it a transition 0.3 seconds ease for padding and a padding of medium spacing. Again, you can see we're using our variables here. And we're also going to be using our breakpoints. As you see, we're using min width in our breakpoints. This makes it so we achieve a mobile first design pattern. The way min width works is when the client window gets resized to above the breakpoint width, then the styles become apparent. And when the window gets sized below the breakpoint width, then the styles go away. I put v.large instead of b.large, so make sure you put b there. Alright, so here we're just making a layout component, so all of our content within here is centered and responsive on mobile devices. So use the S page within the component, the layout component, and pass in children. And we're going to use this layout to wrap all of our pages. So as you can see, it's working. And whatever you put within that layout, it's going to be using that S page styling. All right, so now we're going to create our home page component. And if you haven't noticed already, for every component I make, I will make the component and then a styles folder or file along with it. So again, we're going to import styled components as styled and our variables. Here, we're going to use a div and give it a display of flex, a justify content center to center it, and align items to center it on both axes. And here we'll give it a height of 100 VH, but to we're going to keep the header height in account along with the padding we added to the page. So that's why we're doing this calc. There we go. Alright, so use that within the homepage component. Now we'll create a S title. And you can do whatever you want for these pages. This is just a boilerplate to show you how it's all working. And there we're using the theme, and we're grabbing the primary color. And there, if we go ahead and create a home page, use a snippet to create the functional component. Now import home page, then we're gonna put the home component within the route here. Boom. There you go. As you can see, the layout is working as it should. Now we're going to focus on the header. So create a header.js file along with the styles file and use a snippet. Import styled from styled components. You know the drill. We're going to use a div for this, but you could use a header element for that as well. Give it a height of v.headerHeight, a background of theme.background. Now we're going to put this within our page. So it's on every single page in our application. So it wasn't working at first because we didn't actually use the styled component. Now put it above the page layout and wrap it in a fragment, and there you go. Now it's going to work. So what I'm going to do here is make a button so we can toggle the theme, just to show you how it works. We're going to give the header a display of flex and justify content center and align item center. So the button will be in the center of that element. Now here you're gonna do dispatch, and this is basically gonna import use dispatch so we can dispatch actions to our reducer or reducers. So here I'm just showing you how the button is going to work. So on click, we're going to call this function here, toggle theme handler. Alright, so now that we know it works, we're going to go into our slice and create a reducer for toggling the theme. I actually messed up here, and I'm setting the theme to the opposite, and you'd usually do that for Boolean values, but we're actually using a string to determine what the theme is. So here we're just going to use an if statement to see if it's light. Then if it is light, then we're going to toggle it to dark, and if it's not light, then we're going to toggle it to light. So as you can see, it's working. Go ahead and style that button however you'd like, or remove it. I just wanted to show you that that would work. Alright, so that's going to be a wrap on the video. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and use this to bootstrap any of your React and Redux projects. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions and any recommendations for future videos. Thank you for watching.